Awesome. Yeah, and if people want to ask questions, is it in the questions for the lecture section there? So, oh, that's right. There's a little ch- channel chat's great. I forgot that Discord asked that. Yeah, no, you guys feel free to ask questions along the way, and yeah, interrupt me if you see a question that you want answered. Just go, hey, Danny, this person asked this, and I'm happy to answer it because I want to make sure you guys really get the most out of it. So, let me give you guys my overall view, my on coin magic, and we'll start there. And why I love coin magic. So I've been a performing magician for 20 years. I've done close up. I've done street performing. I've worked corporate events. I used to do corporate events for Google, AT&T, etc. I've done table hopping. I've done private events. I've done so many different styles of magic, and I really got to play around with coins in different contexts. And what I've come to really love more than anything is like parlor style coin magic. I like parlor style coin magic for multiple reasons, but we'll get into a little bit of detail. But first, I want to talk about presentation and coins, and this will give some kind of context for the style of stuff that I do and how I teach. So, with a deck of cards, you do not have to be very good at writing presentations. They write themselves. If you take a deck of cards and you do a triumph routine where you shuffle the cards face up and face down, and then you find their card amongst that and all the cards are back in order, you've established order out of chaos. That is its own type of presentation, and it speaks for itself, right? When you shuffle those face up and face down, the spectator feels that. It's visceral. It's an emotional, personal experience for them. Nobody likes to see a deck of cards shuffle face up and face down because everyone has an experience of having to sort out a deck of cards, right? So they feel that. There's also the impossibility of their card being lost in that feeling of order amongst chaos. That's an emotional experience. It's like when you have a mess and you clean it up and you feel good afterwards, right? It speaks for itself. And a lot of things in card magic are like that, mostly because you got 52 variables and it's just kind of tells its own story. There's a uniqueness to each context. Or even just like a prediction effect is very personal, once again. And though coin magic can be made this way, it's mostly a visual thing that's viewed rather than felt, though that can change. But coins are simply vanishes and productions for the most part, right? If you take a coin and you pull it through your hand, right? Whatever way you do it, it doesn't matter which way you do it, which can add all different types of visualness. It's a production, sorry, it's a vanish here and a production there, right? A change is just a vanish here and a production here, right? Teleportation is a vanish here, production here. Everything's vanishes and productions. So the only thing that adds diversity to coin magic and makes it interesting is the presentation. And with coins, they do not tell their own presentation. You have to tell the presentation. And this is one thing I love about coins. So, though some things are just so visual in a way that it's just really fun, like this. But anyways, so for me, presentation is super important in coin magic. But also another quality of coin magic is it's the hard stuff. Coin magic is far harder than card magic, and I know that will push some buttons. People do not like to hear that. Card magicians take this shit personal all the time. But trust me, as somebody who can take a deck of cards, reach in, let's see if I can do this, it's been a while. But as somebody who can take a deck of cards and do a 26 shift, one hand, I know how hard card stuff can be. And it doesn't even come close to coin magic because this is self-concealing. If I want to make a card disappear, I just do this. and you don't know if it's there anymore. Right? And this is the quality of card magic, because it's very self-concealing. You have all this cover, it covers itself. You're not having to, sure, sometimes you may palm a card, but you could show your hand empty and then palm it off because it was perfectly concealed beforehand. Coins are not self-concealing. You have to understand the subtlety and nuances of naturalness. And if you are tense, you're very tense in your gestures, the spectator is going to know where the coin's at. So with card magic, you have this presentational quality. With coins, it can very quickly become a game of cat and mouse, where the spectator is just trying to figure out where the coin is. And that's not really magic, okay? So let's get into, just reading your guys' comments. Cards are way harder. Okay. Whatever you say. So they don't self-conceal. You have to really, to do it well, you have to understand naturalness, you have to understand good presentation to do coin magic. So let me show you guys something fun. I'll do something simple. You guys, at some point, you've all had the thought that space goes on infinitely. But if things go on infinitely, what's then after that? And then after that, right? Like, we can't even wrap our minds around infinite. But what if things also went inwards infinitely? That within any given point, you can go inwards infinitely. There's an infinite amount of space in any point. That would mean you could have like little space pockets that you could reach into and pull things out of. Like, you could just keep money in there. But technically there would be money in there because there's infinite space, there's infinite possibility. I can, as long as I know where it's at, I can reach in and produce a coin, which could be quite, infinitely large, infinitely small simultaneously. You can very easily fall through the gaps between the molecules and atoms in your hand. It also distorts gravity. Gravity really kind of loses its effect, this kind of distortion of space. But yeah, that's not the only thing. It also affects the molecular quality of it, which apparently can affect the taste even. That's excuse me. I actually didn't eat dinner. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna snack a little bit. Get a couple more of these. Okay, you want to be careful with those. Those will get stuck in your nose, in your sinuses, and then you'll get boogers all over your hands, which is just not fun. Excuse me. I'm just gonna put this back. We'll just. There we go. Yeah. Nope. Hold on. Same issue. Stuck in the sinuses. And same issue with the boogers in the coins. You know what? I'm just gonna space pocket right there. I'll just get rid of that. So this is a silly routine that I've been doing for a long time. It's something I open with because it adds character to all of these different qualities of vanishes, productions, coin through hand. Anti-gravity coin is one thing that's not a vanish in production. But all these different things, and it adds character to each of these different ways of doing vanishes and productions primarily, and adds a story to it and gives it a very different feel. And I also love this because it teaches the spectators to kind of relax. Hey, don't take this shit too seriously. I clearly don't, right? I'm pulling coins out of my nose and snorting them again and shooting them like snot rockets. Like, just take a chill pill, relax, enjoy the magic, right? So I love this routine. It always breaks the ice, makes everything kind of fun and playful, and it really cuts through the nonsense with the hecklers. Nobody after this kind of routine goes, "I know how you did that." It's just like you can't get that serious around something so absolutely ridiculous, right? But at the same time, it does have a fun presentation. There can be a depth in imagining this quality of spaciousness and, infiniteness, and that opens up a mind that is open to the idea of impossibility, right? So, I'll go over some parts of this because it's a fun routine, and this is a stand-up routine that I've done for a long time, and I'll show you some fun ideas that I've done with this, doing it stand-up. So let's start with productions. So one thing I like to do is this kind of subtlety. Have a coin in classic palm. I hate hand washes. This kind of thing, because one of the biggest things with coin magic, like I said, is it quickly become a game of cat and mouse, where the spectators are trying to figure out the method, and then it's a puzzle to be solved, right? It's like, oh, can I catch the magician? Can I figure out where the coin is? That's not magic. If I wanted, if that was magic, then doing the New York Times crossword puzzle, I would feel a state of wonder every time I did it, right? It's not. It's juggling with coins. It's juggling with any object, right? It has to invoke a sense of wonder. It has to be felt in some sense. Wonder is just another way of, you could say astonishment, awe. There's so many words for this experience we call magic. Fill in the blank if you don't like wonder. But we all know that experience that quite can't be touched by words. It's felt. It's a felt experience. And getting the spectator to feel the magic is the first step in them being able to, or even feel the presentation is the first step in getting them to really feel the magic. With cards, and you have that messing of the cards in a triumph, you feel that. So you feel when it's clean, right? And that it's back, and it's this shock. Because they feel the messy quality. There's this relational quality of, oh, that's going to take forever to fix, and then boom, it's fixed. It's very visceral. Emotionally. So you need good presentation a lot of times to invoke good magic, and cards can do it naturally because, like I said, the presentation is often built in to the context. Cards, you kind of gotta, coins, you kind of gotta create it. But let me show you this routine. Sorry, I was getting to a point. Why I hate hand washing? Because this kind of thing, this very very kind of cat and mouse thing where people do this and get here and produce a coin and then do, I don't even know. I don't even do coin flurries. My brain just doesn't even understand the concept very well. Like all this quick vanish production. Oh, look, it's not here. Oh, you thought it was here. It's not there. It's fun, but it's not what I would personally call magic, and it's not the kind that I care to see personally. So that kind of stuff gets into that cat and mouse. Can I catch it? It's not a felt thing. It's a very cognitive, trying to catch somebody out, viewing magic as this challenge, as this puzzle, not as a felt experience. And hand washing is very much this catch me if you can kind of quality. And, like the one that you often see people do is this. It's very, it looks exactly like what you're doing. It looks like you're just displaying the fact that you're very good at transitioning coin back and forth. This doesn't look like a natural way that a human being would show their hands empty. So things should be properly motivated in magic, and there's gestures that one can use to do this, to accomplish this quality of naturalness. Very simple gestures. It doesn't have to be anything extreme. Your hands could come together for a moment, and in that action, you could transfer a coin from classic palm to classic palm. Right? You simply, literally, just drop it into classic palm of the other hand as your hands come together. Right? This can be such a simple display that you do on the offbeat. You could be here. You could talk about space and how space is infinite. But imagine with me for a moment, the space is not infinite just outward, but inward to a single point as well. Right? And amongst these gestures, I've shown both hands empty. Right? That's a fun little subtlety. And I'm motivating this action. I'm saying, imagine for me. It's kind of, this doesn't, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but it has a kind of, it feels like a personal gesture, like a stylistic gesture, rather than like switching coins back and forth, right? So whatever it may be, however you do it, maybe you're Italian, very Italian with your hands, you do this a lot, and you go, Gino is here. He did this thing with the coin, I don't know. That's a really bad Italian accent. Don't just forget that happened. But, and you could use this kind of action of moving your hands to transition a coin from one hand to the other, right? Because maybe you talk like this. Maybe you gesture like this. some people do this kind of thing, right? Your hands can come together for a moment, you can steal, you can show it empty again. There's far more natural ways to hand wash. Anyways, all of this is just to try and express this basic principle I'm getting at here, proper motivation. So let's get into the actual routine, because I'm sure you guys just want to learn science. Like, teach me the magic, Danny. Quit your talking. So here we go. I do this gesture a bit, right? I get this transfer back and forth. It's just a way to show my hand's empty. I'm eventually going to reach out, produce a coin, and I'm going to first look at the point, lean forward, and then produce. That sliding is crossing the gaze. And then I'm going to say, that you can get multiples of these. My eyes are going to meet the point in space again that I'm going at. My body's going to go in that direction. So now when I do this transfer and I come and I grab this next coin, everything's motivated. I see magicians hand coins from one hand to the other all the time for absolutely no motivated reason. Why did you have to transfer the coin from one hand to the other? It doesn't make sense. It's a suspicious action. And when you do suspicious actions, you get that spectator back into that puzzling mindset. They're cognitively thinking, what's going on here, rather than feeling the presentation. So these moments of unmotivated action, these unnatural gestures, take the spectator away from the experience of magic. And magicians do a lot of this with coins, because it takes some presentational skill to figure out how you're going to motivate something. Like, if I just produce a coin and want to produce another coin, why would I not just produce with this hand? This is the free hand. Logically speaking, I would produce with this hand. So presentationally, I have to think, what's my motivation for doing it with this hand? Well, I have to relate to something on my right side. Do I have an object, like the little ball there, right? And I can go here and go and grab the ball, and that's my motivation for doing the move. Or it could be an imaginative thing. Maybe we say, there's these hooks that you can hang coins on, and they'll hang. If I can find it. I found the hook. They're sharp. You want to be careful not to, prick yourself on them. But anyway, and then hang it, right? Everything's motivated, so there's no moment of, wait, why is he transferring coins back and forth, right? So you use an imaginative kind of principle. But in this, I always use crossing the gaze, right? Which is that if I'm here and I see the next coin I'm going to do a grab, my eyes meet it and my body goes in that direction, I'm communicating before I even do the move why I'm transferring the coin, right? Because if I'm here and I do this, and then I come over here to grab this object, there's a moment between here and here where the spectator can ask, wait, why is he switching hands? Oh, did something happen there, right? Because it's in their conscious awareness, because you didn't make it subconscious by bringing the conscious awareness somewhere else, right? So in this case, the eyes meeting the object and the body moving in communicates that we're going to that point again. We also preconditioned it, right? So we were here, we produced a coin out of midair. I think there's another one there. Let's take this one too, right? So the body goes, eyes are here. It motivates and communicates why this transfer is happening so that you have this next production, right? So this is proper motivation, applying proper motivation to magic, to every single movement, so that you don't have suspicious actions. I see it especially in lots of like keto box type work or things like this, where there's another object and people will transfer a coin here and move the, gesture at the box and then grab the coin here and do this. Or it's like, why'd you just put the coin here just to grab here and put it there? It's because, you were here. But now for your next move, you need the coin over here, so you decide to do this and then do this. And it's like, why would you place a coin in the hand just to take it away a second later? It doesn't make any sense, right? But coin magicians do this all the time. One that I see often is produce 2 coins, produce the third, place it on the fan, and then take it off to do this move. You might as well tell the spectator that you're hiding that coin behind the fan, because you already had the coin in your hand, but for some reason you put it on the fan before taking it back immediately, like a second later, to vanish it. I've seen like top pros do this. It's the most absurd thing I've ever seen. I can't believe that magicians continue to do this. It's completely ridiculous. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm really ripping apart a lot of coin magic in this, okay? I'm just in that kind of mood. So, sorry. But I hope you find it helpful. So, proper motivation is important to me. It's what makes the magic feel natural and allows the spectator to relax into it and enjoy it, right? And with coins, when you're constantly concealing something and you're constantly hiding an object, because it's not like a deck of cards where I can hide something by just placing it face down. I have to conceal it and keep the spectator engaged in the magical quality rather than looking for the coin. It's very important that we have these kinds of naturalness, or we take out these suspicious actions in coin magic. So that expresses the proper motivation thing. Let's get into the actual routines now. So we produce, right? Boom, we look at the point, crossing the gaze again, get here. You can use any transfer you want. I'm using Charlie Miller's Flopperino. You guys know the Flopperino? It's where the coin sits on the first finger. Your second finger pinches it, and it flips over, and it lands on pinky ledge. Yes. So if your pinky is slightly forward, you get this little ledge for your pinky. This allows your fingers to be straight and still conceal a coin, or drop it whenever you want. And pinky ledge can be done with multiple coins. So pinky ledge is a very valuable thing for having a vertical hand and concealing coins like that. The flopperino is where the coin is at the base of the first finger. And the second finger is going to pinch in on the edge here, so the coin flips over, or it could be held by the pinky ledge. Now, when you do this, the point that's most vertical is going to be where that light's going to flash. And if that's lined up with your palm here, you'll get a nice retention of vision, right? So it's a really, really fun move. What's also nice about it is how casual it is. It's not like a very deliberate placing action, which no normal human being does with any object in their life. Nobody ever hands an object from one hand to the other with this kind of lingering. It looks really unnatural when you do that, right? So the casualness of this can be really deceptive. I like really casual false transfers. The other thing with false transfers is let your hands swing and come together and meet at the center point. If you're going to do a retention, come together and come away. Okay? Don't do the one stationary hand where you do like this. That doesn't make sense. The only time it makes sense for one hand to be stationary and the other one moving is a tossing action, right? Because that's the point of a tossing action, is that you simplify motion, right? Not both hands don't have to move to meet each other halfway because one of them is doing a tossing action, right? So in this situation, it's motivated for a hand to be still. But this is not a natural way to hand an object from one hand to the other, okay? It looks weird, right? When you start doing it with other objects that are not coins, it dawns on you of like, wow, that's what we look like to spectators when we place a coin from one hand to the other. We look like we're crazy, like our body is divided down the middle and it's disconnected from itself. Anyways, back to the routine. So production, Flopperino, production, right? And then presentationally speaking, like, oh, it falls through between the molecules in the hand, and have this fun little coin through hand that I've been doing for a long time. And before you go, oh, that's way too angle sensitive. There's no way you could do that in real life, blah, 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 blah. I did this for a room full of 150 magicians at a lecture at the Tricks Convention in North Carolina. 150 magicians wide. The room was this way, not that way. So I didn't have them in front of me. I had people on my far left and far right. And I was still able to do the sleight. And I asked people, because people are everyone thinks all this stuff is impossible to do in real life and too angle sensitive and whatnot. So I asked everyone, am I flashing? And everyone had said no, which I already knew, but at the same time, it was quite a shock to many magicians who tend to think that this stuff isn't actually possible in the real world. So let's talk about why it is. Most magicians use angles incorrectly. When it comes to coins, you're not trying to point the coin at the eye level or at the eyes of the spectator. You just want the coin level with the ground. Okay? That's it. If you keep the coin level with the ground, your angles are actually a lot better than you think. I'm not tilting this coin, I'm just keeping the coin level. Now I am 3 feet from this camera, which is really close. It'd be really close to be standing to a person this close. And I have from here, let's see, how far down can I go? I think there's a little bit of flash there. Yeah, it's reflecting off the shirt, but I can see it. There's a flash there. There, I'm good. So I have from here, which is really unnatural for me to even do, but, sorry, I'm tilting. If you're flashing, make sure you're not tilting. Make sure you're level. If you're level, you stay level. And there's the next flash right there, right? But if I bent my finger more straight, I would even have even better angles up until about there. This is a lot of range for something that I'm really just going to do right here, right? So left to right angles on this move look like this. Place a coin in the hand, you come under and you produce. You can't see anything because the left hand blocks everything. Because I go here and I come under to there. Can't see anything on this side because the right hand blocks everything. So it's not a good place to be except in the front. But that's a lot of close-up magic, actually. So how's the move done, right? That's what you guys want to know. So the thumb is on a large portion of the coin near the bottom part of it, like this. And you want to find the spot that you can balance that coin in your thumb and the coin is parallel with the ground, okay? And then your first finger just goes in front, like this. You're not pinching it, it's just in front. It's just balance. It's like this, okay? Balance thumb, first finger's in front. Now, in terms of doing this move, thumb's over a large portion of the coin, first finger is bent in. So what you're going to do is you're going to tilt and straighten out the first finger. The thumb comes back a little bit, but it's mostly the thumb comes back, first finger straightens. They both do a little bit of work, okay? Do not do this. Don't hold it here and do this because this makes this move extremely obvious to anyone you show it to. Make sure that when you're here, you're holding the first finger at the tip this way. You turn, the thumb bends in, first finger straightens, and when you produce, the thumb bends out, first finger pinches, and you straighten. So that's the basic move. Here, under, produce. So that's that. It's a fun little vanish and production sequence of coin through hand. It's also what I used when I did the nose thing, which is fun because you have so much cover here, right? Because you have the cover of your face, and then you have the whole back of the right hand. So you have a lot of cover here even, and it's a lot more open. You get this fun production at the nose. We'll get to that in a moment. So, boom, vanish, produce, do the coin through hand, and then I do the anti-gravity coin. I'm not going to teach you this. This is in my project called Mythos. It's available on my site. This is a completely impromptu anti-gravity coin. You can do it with $1. You can do it with a $50. You can do it with a penny, a quarter. You can do it whatever you want. It can shoot quite high too. So super fun move. I highly recommend. Oh, you could do it with a playing card, but I might be out of practice with a playing card. Or very easy with a credit card. There you go. Got a playing card. Nice. You could do a Sharpie even. So a really fun move. I highly recommend you check this out if you haven't yet. So I do that. I do an anti-gravity coin, but you could just do, if you know the muscle pass, do that. I don't do it very well as an anti-gravity coin. Also never liked how kind of tense it looks. Yeah. Anyways, anti-gravity coin, and then I'm going to eat the coin. I love this. It's like one of my favorite things. Because it just really looks like it goes in there. You get retention of vision in the mouth, and you get the sound. I am not responsible for anybody who breaks their teeth with this effect. Okay? I know a magician, and you know him too, who had to go get some work done on his teeth because he was doing a effect that I created with the jumbo. It's a solid jumbo coin. I mean, it does squeeze down, it becomes quite small, but stretches back out. It is actually really, really solid. But because it gets really small, you can fit it down the circulatory system. So you can. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, this is it's a super fun move. A friend of mine, you know him, had to had to go get some work done on his teeth because of this. So I warn you, please be careful with such a thing. Apparently, no, not Eric Jones. I'm O negative, and people who are O negative, that blood type apparently has denser teeth. I heard this once. Don't quote me on it. I don't know how true it is, but I've never had issues with this. So, anyways, back to this. If you hold the coin down by the edge, we got another one. If you hold the coin down by the edge so that it's very floppy, you get a big chunk of your thumb on there. You get some flop though. You need to really be able to pinch it by its edge with that first finger, let it flop. The second finger could come in as support, but you want a really floppy coin so that you can let it come forward like this. So that when we let it flop back, the move's pretty much already done, even though we haven't even done a retention. This is still sticking out. That's the main visual part of it, is this flop. But then you do a DG retention, but you use any Okawa style retention, any retention where you pull the coin into finger palm. You don't even have to have a good one for this. You can do it really sloppy, because ideally your hand's in continual motion, like you're throwing it into your mouth, right? So you can have a sloppy retention vanish even. So now if you want, when you to get the sound, when you pull it in, you're letting it hit not your front teeth. Don't let it hit your front teeth. Your molars. Okay, as you pull it in with your thumb. If you know the DG retention, check that out. But because it's the move I think works best with this. But yeah, we won't go into detail on it. It's a lot to go into detail on. My project Optical not only goes into that, but goes into a bunch of really fun vanishes and gets into the principle of retention and vanish and what actually causes a spectator to hallucinate seeing a coin in the hand when you feel like you're actually seeing the light between the fingers, that kind of effect, that actually what's happening in terms of the neuroscience there and how to create that effect for somebody. So I go into that in great detail in Optical. All this stuff is on my website at DannyGoldsmithMagic.com. But anyways, I do the retention, right? And I'll do it a couple times because it's fun and visual. It just looks impossible. And then I go from here up into JW. And I'm just pushing with my thumb up to JW. And as I come up, like I'm trying to pick a booger out of my nose, my thumb comes back into that position where I need it to be to go into here, right? So you should have your memorized position that keeps the coin horizontal, parallel with the ground. If you know that position, then it's quite easy to get from here into here. Remember, we have the full blocking with the face. That's why this hand is here. Otherwise, you'd flash a little bit. But here, it also makes sense for the snorting the coin out. So like that. And now we're going to do a little piece of conditioning. I'm going to go, there's boogers all over the coin. And I'll let you see some of the coin between the fingers here as I do this. Okay? And then I'm going to close my fingers around it a little bit. I'm going to hand it back and go, hold on, let's put it back up there. And I get here. And I do the DG retention, right? Which the DG retention is pulling a coin. It's like an Okawa style retention where you're just pulling the coin really hard with your thumb, but it's going into this kind of clipped position. I'll show it real fast. It's just here to there. And you just learning how to keep your fingers straight is the hardest part. I've actually gotten a bit sloppy with it. My first finger is flaring quite a bit. That's better. This puts it in an ideal position for this next move because I go here, and then because we're in like a clip position, I place this up against my face like this as I brush. So it's this moment where I can go like this, and then I open my hand. You hear me speak, and my hand's wide open, right? But I have it like this. I'm going to steal it back into clip as I come away, and I go, oh, wait, same issue. And coin's stuck in my nasal passages. And as I come up to push like this with my thumb, that's motivation to get into muscle pass position. Because proper motivation means that every single movement is motivated. If I do this, and then I go like this really quick to get in as a get ready, and you see that, you know, what did he just do? Nobody moves their hands for like no reason. You don't do this for no reason. You're doing something. Either you're itching your palm like multiple times in your coin routines. Either you have itchy palms or you're manipulating an object, right? So you have to motivate that action, this action of getting the coin into classic palm position for muscle pass. Now, if you're doing normal classic palm, you should keep the first finger and thumb together so that you don't have that thumb flare out. But for me to get a good muscle pass, I need to get deep in there. So I use this action to motivate why my thumb is sticking up, right? It covers it. Do this, go, oh, there it is. And I just turn my head and I'm just muscle passing the coin. That's it, nothing crazy, but it's such a fun thing. It looks like it's kind of coming out of the other nostril. And you just blow air out your nose as you do this. As you can see, it arches a little bit and then falls, which can help it give this idea that the trajectory is coming out of your other nostril. Right? Almost looks like it's being produced out of the other nostril. Anyways, snort the coin out. And I go, oh, that boogers on my coin. And I remember we conditioned this earlier, so I'm going to wipe, retention, and then wipe. And all I'm going to do is wiping down into my lap if I'm seated at a table, right? But I'm going to go here, I'm going to wipe, come back up, fake take, and go, where's that space pocket? Look for a little bit, re-engaging with the presentation, you know, the whole thing comes full circle about the space pockets. And I also allowing some time misdirection from this move, and then vanish it into the space pocket. But let's talk about this last vanish, because I told you this was a stand-up routine, and it is. It's when I've done standing a lot. But I'm going to show you once more doing it seated, but you don't have a table in front of you, right? So same thing as before. You wipe. Oh, sorry. Gross. Got boogers all over me. And as I push down, I push into the crease of where my kind of pants meets my shirt. So it goes in there like that. It doesn't have to go very far because I'm just wiping, and then I'm going to lean forward, and that's going to cover that, okay? I'm going to go like this, and go like that, and then find the spot to lose it. I'll come back, and I'll go, oh, I got boogers all over my shirt. As I stretch my shirt out, I get the coin back. Standing, it's even more fun, but it's the exact same principle. So you're here, you go, oh, man, you have boogers all over the place. Your thumb comes here, you push into there, right? So it's in your shirt, right? It's just your shirt, pushing it into your pants for your shirt. There you go, ugh, like this. And you can push it far enough in that you could just lean forward so that your shirt wrinkles a bit, which covers it. Vanish it, go, yeah. It's all over my shirt, you know, and then you could do this. Just pulls the coin back out into your fingers, and you go, well, I'll have to wash this later, or whatever. So there you go. This is like my go-to one coin routine, and it's some stand-up work, and it's one of my favorites, and it got to talk a lot about presentational stuff. So There you go. Let me know in the comments, guys. How is this? Is this enjoyable? I know there's a lot of theory. Um, it's always hard to give lectures when you can't see or hear anyone. So like, feel free to let me know in the comments what you think if you're digging it.
I had a question in the chat.
Oh, did you? And I missed it. How is the coin positioned against your face when you do the nose production to get the best angles? The nose production. Oh, you mean this one?
Correct.
Yeah, so it's the position we talked about. It's the exact same position as the coin through hand. But we're here, right? So you can see you can get all the way to the point where somebody's on your far right, right? But most people aren't going to be on your far right when you do coin magic, because even when you do coin magic, even if you do like a basic retention vanish, right? You're here, you do this. This doesn't look like much from the right. Most coin magic doesn't look very good from the right. But if this is what you're seeing all the time, it's quite boring. Your hands are blocking everything. So I'll often ask spectators, like, can you even like really enjoy the magic from there? I can't imagine you can see much with my arms in the way. And they'll say, yeah, that's right. I go, oh, come up front. And I invite them up front. Right? So that's how I tend to pull people into my ankles. People too far into my sign, I'll bring people in close first. I'll say, hey, come down here, check this out. I want to show you something. And I'll do a close-up thing like this. Once you got in everyone tight, lean back, take a big step back, say, I want to show you something really fun. You can gesture like this to kind of basically non-verbally tell them to stay. And now everyone's in front, right? So you basically took all these people who were out here. You were here. You have people on your far right. You say, come in close. Everyone comes in close. They're still on your far right, right? But you do some little close-up piece. Now you take 2 steps back, and now everyone's more in front of you, right? So this is a little piece of audience management that goes a long way in coin stuff. But yeah, it's that. You're right up against your nose. You can turn even more if you want to get a little bit more right cover, but you're not going to get that much. This hand covers so much, and your nose covers a lot as you do that. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much.
Cool. Any other questions or things or thoughts, or what do you want to see? Be blunt with me. Go ahead, Danny.
I would really like to see your air himber vanish.
Air. Well, it's not mine. I didn't create the air himber. Who's the air himber by? I have my own subtleties on it. Because here's my first thoughts. The himber vanish is not a good vanish. It's you see people do this all the time, where it's like the hands are like this to do a himber vanish. Now there's so many problems with this. First of all, is when your hands come together, naturally, when your hands come together, they internally rotate. Nobody's hands naturally externally rotate as they come together. This is extra work for no reason at all. It breaks the laws of economy of motion and conservation of energy. No biological life naturally acts in a way that doesn't conserve energy, which means they engage in a way that is in line with economy of motion because it conserves energy. When you start doing things that are not within economy of motion, you look unnatural, right? That is something that's hardwired in us as biological creatures, is to notice when someone else in the tribe or another biological life is not conserving energy properly, naturally, and acting in ways that are unnatural, right? So economy of motion is important. This does not make sense. There's nothing natural about this. It's also really tense. It's such a weird thing. You also have horrible angles. Like it's just the angles are really bad. So step 1, turn your hand sideways. Not only will you have the full cover on the left side from your arm, but you will actually even have cover from these fingers hooking around when you do the move. Try this again. Right? You get a little bit more cover this way, the fingers coming in. It also just looks a lot more natural. But the other thing is this, and this is why the himber vanish is just not a good move for the most part. you're dropping something. The point of dropping something is that your hands shouldn't pause when they come together. Your hands should swing together and swing apart. That's what you would naturally do. If I said naturally drop a coin from one hand to the other, you're not going to do this. You would look crazy if you did that. Can you imagine if I grabbed my phone and I did this to hand it to the other hand? You go, what's that guy doing? What a weird way to hand your phone from one hand to the other. A retention vanish of any kind is supposed to look like you're just casually handing a coin from one hand to the other, not like you're doing a move. It shouldn't look like you're doing a move, right? It should look like you're just placing a coin from one hand to the other, which is why I love the Flopperino. It's Charlie Miller's Flopperino. So casual, so simple, and it can be done really quickly and easily. It looks great. This, though, for the hands to swing together and swing apart, you have to know how to do a air himber. I'll try again. It's one of these things that, like, watch, if I go to perform it, I'll hit it first time because I'm not trying to teach it. But when I try to teach it or show it in a way that's out of the context that I normally do it, then I'll mess up. But oh, Jesus Christ. There you go. So air himber is a himber where you catch the coin in midair and pull it in, because you need that to have that economy of motion of your hands coming together, or the swinging action of your hands swinging together and swinging apart, right? But also, for your hands to swing together and swing apart, you need to be more at this angle. So if you have a body turn, you come in like this, that can motivate it, right? But why is your body turned? Just to do this, right? Because if you try to do that from here, you're going to flash that pinky because your hands are trying to swing together and swing apart. That gives this much time for me to get my pinky out and in, which is really hard to do even not executing the move, right? I would have to pause, but no one pauses when they're casually dropping a coin from one hand to the other. That wouldn't be natural. So you have to turn to get this kind of cover for it. So now you have to motivate, why am I turning? Well, you could show a coin and say, hey, we'll try this with the coin. And you could do it as you're turning the body back, something along those lines. But as you can see, it's quite hard to make the himber vanish natural. It's for something that, yes, it's deceptive because a coin is rolling past the back of your hand, which makes it feel like you shouldn't have enough control to pull that coin back in. That's why people like it. But it's so hard to make it look natural. Anyways, that's my long, 8-minute himber vanish rant. You guys want to learn a routine? Do I recommend the same vanish with smaller coins? What vanish? Smaller coins are fine. I don't think there's any reason to use small coins. You should be using Morgan dollars. They're more visual. The weight's better. They're honestly easier to manipulate. The only reason why most people start with half dollars is because it's lighter and it's initially easier to learn the palms. And it's hard to make transition from half dollars to dollars. But most slides are actually easier, especially masqué stuff. But we won't get into that. That's a long topic. So yeah, dollars. And don't give me the my hands are too small excuse. I can barely palm a playing card. My hands are tiny. The card barely fits in my hands to do this, and I can, let's see, oh look, we got one coin here. I dropped one. Going on a coin hunt. Oh man, that's gone. You know, I needed another one to do my coins across. I was going to teach you. I'll have to find it later. Okay, I'm done crawling around my floor. Back to the, we'll get back to the lecture here. So, I was going to try and show you. Okay, here we go. So I have small hands. I hear so many times people just say, oh, my hands are too small for Morgan dollars. So here we go. Let's see if I can get this right now. This is just a drill. It's not something I use in performance. But if I can do it, I just did it before, but I might be pushing my luck with how many I'm trying to get here. But I want to make a point. Okay. So in Masqué Palm, we will produce a dollar coin. Aha, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. I'm gonna get into actually add a spin in there. It's 4. That's 5, 6, 7, and 8. If I can produce 8 coins from Masqué Palm, then you can do 9. Then you can absolutely do 10. 11, 12, 13 coins, $13 size coins from Masqué Palm. Then you can Masqué Palm a single dollar coin. So I hope that
your point was officially made. Congratulations.
Let's see. Anyways, I'm in a very punchy mood today. I'm very no bullshit. I'm gonna cut through all the bullshit coin myths in this lecture. Okay, I want to show you guys a coins across. This is from my project Silversmith, and it's a favorite of mine. So I'm never a fan of the extra coin concept and coins across. I wanted coins across that felt that I didn't need an extra coin for. I want it to be fair, feel fair, be deceptive, etc. Right? So we're gonna get these coins to travel from here through the air and down to the other hand, up and down. That's the first, okay? That leaves 1. Now these are made out of silver. So if you listen, silver makes a really sweet sound. I love it. You'll hear that sound again as that next coin jumps to join this one here through the air and down to the other hand. It makes 2. Now sound is deceptive because sound, you don't really know if it's happening in my hands or if it's happening in your ear, right? Technically you experience it in your ear, not in my hands, right? Because it's something your brain does about sound waves, right? So if sound, in that sense, doesn't exactly have a location, then the coins might not either, in which case it could be quite hard to tell where the coins actually are. Just leaves the last one. It's on the table. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 coins on the table. So this is a fun little coins across. I kind of messed it up there. I got stuck for some reason, but this is a fun little coins across. This is a coins across that I crafted as a street performer. It got built really slowly, honestly. It was something I can't even remember what the original phases were. But it just added on it, made discoveries out on the streets, performing for people until I had this fun little routine. So, yeah, I'll show it to you. So the first thing is your tension and relaxation is great. If you're relaxed, the spectator will be quite surprised by that first move. And you want that first move to really surprise them. You want them to go, oh, you want to grab their attention, right? So first I talk about coins. Say these are old Morgan silver dollars from the 1800s. And I leave my fingers curled a bit so you can't see exactly how many coins are. But I also keep my hand open enough that you do not feel like I'm hiding anything. This idea originally came from Cameron Braxton, who was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here. Is Cameron still here? Cameron's a smart man. He's not here. Don't tell him I said that, though. I'll go to his head. So this is not something I crafted on the streets. I used to just kind of do it like this. But Cameron made this. I told me once that like when you do a retention vanish, instead of making a fist, like if you keep the hand very relaxed, then it has this feeling like they could have looked in if they wanted to. It doesn't feel like you're hiding something. So there's no suspicion, right? It's just so much more natural. No one like waits in line holding things in their hand like this. If you're gonna hold in your hand, you're gonna hold between your first finger, your thumb and first finger, or you're gonna have a cupped hand. If you have multiple coins, you're especially gonna have a cupped hand. So I loved this. Later on, I would go on to come up with a fun idea using this concept, and that was like a retention vanish with a subtlety to it. But anyways, Benzea's friction palm. Pick these up. Benzea's friction palm, right? Put that one's on up. Hop, see, and cover them just enough, right? Talk for a moment to allow some time misdirection and relax your body. Now I'm going to say, watch the first one travel from here, through the air, and down to the other hand. This is arming. I point, which allows me to move it into heel clip. To go from heel clip to arming is a lot easier. If you have a hair tie, it's even easier, or a bracelet, or a watch, or something to catch it on. But you can also do it from here. Go up and down to the other hand, and you don't need anything to help you. Once you've spent enough time with this move, you can do it over and over again, 100% confident accuracy with enough practice. Okay, so I point, which motivates why I'm pushing here, and I say it's going to travel from here up and down. And this, I'm using my presentation to motivate this action that's also assisting me in getting that coin into an armed position, right? So you go here, produce the first. I won't go into detail on arming. We'll be here all day. It's actually a vast topic. I actually just released a project on my site. It's my newest one, and I teach this, so you can check it out there. But so that's the first one. And I say the first one you saw visually, but these will go by sound. And I'm showing them, right? It's my motivation for why I'm transferring them, is I'm showing them individually, because we just made one jump. They're going to want to see three. I do like so, right? And this motivates why they're in my right hand, because now I'm going to also gesture with this hand. So I'm going to pause and say, now if you listen really closely, you'll hear the sound, sweet sound the silver makes, right? Because if I just went 3 and then handed them here and then did this, that would not be properly motivated. That would be a very weird, unnatural thing to do. So I count them into the hand. I'm not counting out loud. I'm just, placing them one at a time. Right. And then I pause a moment so that I'm not just immediately putting them back. Say, if you listen really closely, you'll hear the sound the silver makes. And this whole action presentationally also motivates why I'm dropping coins one at a time and placing them back into the hand, is to emphasize the sound, right? Because the sound's a part of this routine and presentation. So now I'm going to do the Whip Click by Brandon Wolf. And Brandon has allowed me to teach this move. He's given me permission to teach this move. I taught it in Silversmith, where this project is from, or where this routine is from. But I'll go over it very briefly. That bottom coin is going into finger palm. And then you have, so it looks like you're placing a coin there, but that just goes in the finger palm. You have nothing here. But you get sound here. And then you get sound again. And what you're doing is called the whip click. You're getting sound off of its own coin. So your thumb is just barely on that edge, so it can kind of open like a book, like a little hinge. And if you get that just lightly, you do a quick little up-down motion, you'll get to do this. Now, if you release the thumb at the moment that it's coming down and tilt down a little bit, it'll come off and it'll smack the coin with a whipping kind of action. You get to really smack the coin on the way down. And you can see it's very subtle. It's not like a big whipping action. It's just, but it is like a quick up, down, up. So it's a knacky thing. So first coin goes there. Emphasize the sound. So they strongly believe 2 coins are there, and then the third, right? This goes into classic palm as I grab this coin. And I like to spin the coin and grab for a moment just to display this hand somewhat empty, right? Grab, pretend to kick up, follow with the eyes, and I'm just going to drop the classic palm coin into finger palm, okay? If you keep your thumb up against your first finger, it'll keep you from like doing this action. So boom, they hear it land, dump it out, and show 2. Now I have to have a reason for why I'm going to separate these and put them back in the hand, right? So my reason is to, because I've seen people do things like this, and then they'll do this to get them back in there, but it doesn't quite make sense. So my reason is to first chime them, to talk about sound. It's a tricky thing, because it's technically vibrations moving through the air. So you may think that you're hearing it in my hand, but technically this experience is happening in your ear. It's your brain interpreting sound. And then I come here, right? And I have this display again, which really feels like my hands are empty. But I have 2 coins in classic palm using a move I created called the press click pass. So this coin's on the fingertips here. This one goes in classic palm position. And I just do that. Okay. I just extend the fingers, push into classic palm, and come away. That's it. Boom. Like so. This allows me to get 2 ahead for this next move. All right, where I'm here, pick these up. These go into finger palm. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did before, but I'm going to do it as I turn this hand over. I'm going to drop these coins in classic palm. Sorry, I'm a little sweaty. Like that. So you get sound is actually here. You get this. And then you make the sound here. Right? Kick one up. Catch. And if I can do it all right, you do the undercover spread by Ponta Smith. Ponta has given me permission to teach this. And so many nice friends in Magic who let me teach their beautiful, beautiful ideas. And the undercover spread is where you pinch the bottom 2 coins with the first finger and pinky, and you let the other coins slide forward. Okay? So you get this spread of 3 coins. Sorry, my hands are really getting sweaty. But so you get this nice display, 3 coins, but you're hiding the 4th one there. Okay? And this is full on, it doesn't matter what angle you're at, which is so nice about this. You could be behind me. It's still so unbelievably hard to see that 4th coin. Right? So that's the move. Super fun. Now, a subtlety that I added to this. Now, remember, they think you have 2 coins here until you just did this. Boom. Now you're showing 3. A subtlety that I added is to pinch those bottom 2 still, but let the top 2 come loose and shake them. And it almost looks like everything's loose, but when you do this and you kind of let them shake back into position a bit, it feels like you just showed 3 free moving coins. I then put these in the spectator's hands, make them close their hand, and flip their hand over so that they can't check them. You never leave a spectator's hand like this, so they'll just do that. Flip their hand over. So I put these in their hand, and for the last one, I would vanish it and disappear and say, like sound waves, it could pierce through anything, even through your own flesh. Right? You could keep with the presentation. For the last vanish, I used to do a fun little piece of dual reality where I would go here and I would say to the spectator on my left, on my left, I would go, you can see the coin, and they can't. They're technically, I'm just doing this. But to everyone else, it looks like I'm tilting the coin towards him and saying you can see the coin. But I don't ask him. I tell him. And then I ask a question a moment later. So I go, you can see the coin. Can you hear the coin? And I really emphasize that. I say, can you hear the coin? I put the emphasis on that. So I go, you can see the coin. Can you hear the coin? And I do like this. So he leans in. And I just click my nails together. Right? So he hears a sound. And they say yes. So now everyone thinks this person just saw and heard a coin, so everyone really thinks there's a coin here, right? So you can see the coin. Can you hear the coin? That's the sound of it breaking down, not into smaller pieces, but into sound waves themselves.
You're welcome, I kicked them.
I get, you know what? Discord's been booting me often lately. I don't get it. Just does that. Just says, hey, you know what? Fuck you. Okay, here we go. Cool. Anyway, so you do that. You can see the coin. Can you hear the coin? You say yes. You know, breaks down into sound waves where it can pierce your skin, even into your hand. And at this moment, this is something I got from Charlie, not Charlie Miller, Charlie Fry, that I love, where he says, don't go, oh, just look in your hand. And then they go like this and they go, oh, wow. Everyone else has no idea what the hell's going on. If you have a table, tell them to count them onto the table one at a time, loud for everyone to see. And if they have, otherwise, if you're standing, tell them to count them into another spectator's hand or into your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. But don't let them look first. Say, now I want you say, watch, this coin will pierce the skin. And you can pause them like this. Like lean in, build tension, go like this. I say, count those coins one at a time into my hand, because you want to capture this moment that happens for the spectator here, where they go 1, 2, and it's after they push 2 coins. This is when they feel that there's 2 more, and they react. They start to smile at this point because they've realized the 4th coin's arrived, and everyone else sees it. So there's this anticipation of that 4th coin, and it makes for a nice final moment when you have them deal off that 4th one. So have them do it slow to build that anticipation, and you'll get a nice ending to a really fun 4 coins across. No extras. There you are. That's Silver Echoes. It's a routine of mine that I really love. It is my go-to coins across, and it has been for over 10, 15 years. 10 years, over 10 years. It's been a while, long time. It's changed a lot over the years, but yeah. Well, any questions, thoughts?
Yeah, I have a question, Danny.
Uh-huh.
About one of the phases. So when you have the 1 coin on the table, I noticed before you pick it up, you do a subtlety where you shake your other hand and then you can hear the coins clink. How do you do that subtlety?
Oh, what did I do? I did, what point? You're
You
here.
have 1 coin on the table.
So boom, 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 produce 3, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I have to walk through it. 1, 2, 3 coins to join the others. That goes across.
And then, yeah, but before you picked up that single coin, you shook the other hand.
Well, there's coins there.
Oh, my apologies. Okay, never mind. I must have with another part of the routine. My apologies.
Yeah, no, you're okay. You might be thinking this. I go here, 2, pick these up, press click pass, pick these up. No, I wouldn't. Oh, I did this. That's what you're thinking of.
About.
Yeah, this is so fun. Sorry I missed this part. This is actually one of the funner things of this little routine. This is a move I came up with a while back. So your 2 coins classic palm, you let one fall onto the fingers like this. You let the next one fall like that, and you can push it up and do it as many times as you like. I'll show you over the shoulder, but this is kind of in-depth thing. But you're here, and then you drop the other one, falls on it, and that's the sound. That's one way to do it, which I like because I wanted for this effect to be in classic palm so that I had this motion, right, for the ending here. And you'd go 3, and then you're already ahead for the last one, right? So I wanted it to go straight to classic palm. And I always think about that when constructing a routine. I'm not going to do something like I could have done it like this into finger palm, right? And then I could have done this move which is another variation I have. It's basically the same thing, coins in finger palm. Your thumb pulls up, drop as you shake there. But then I would have to have grabbed these coins and moved them into classic palm so that I can get this move. And that just wouldn't look natural. It would just look like a move. So I try to minimize my moves by thinking, oh, if I'm going to do a click pass and I'm going to need it in classic palm later, how can I do a click pass that puts the coins in classic palm? And that's why I created the press click pass, is just for that purpose and only for the purpose of this routine. So sometimes, necessity is the mother of invention. That's what they say, right? But yeah, so I wanted a click pass to put the coins into muscle pass. Classic palm.
Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm. It kind of sound stuff's really fun too, because you can do stuff like, maybe you do the same thing, but you can do it on a table. You go here, press click pass, and then come. You can even be here. Say here, we'll try this, and you could just fake take it, right? Relax on the table, go. You can hear it from here, just like that. That's the first one. That's the second one or something.
That was lovely.
Coming up with the shit as I go along. So this is just press click pass, let the hand rest, drop the first one, and then drop the next one onto it just as you shake, right? You just doing this. And then one thing, this is a fun thing I do all the time, where I'll come forward and you could gesture like this, and it's like arming but on the table. And then you just come back. Show your hand empty. Especially makes sense when you're pointing to something on the table. Like, maybe you mind placing something, you go, yeah, we'll leave that right there. Now you get to show both hands empty, because this looks a lot more natural than just this. This looks a little weird. Why is your hand all down? That's why I tend to lean in, because then it places my hand in a kind of more natural position for it to be lower. But doing something like that is a really fun little thing that you can do to, after vanishing a coin, or you could be, here. Place that right about there. We'll just leave it there. We can always get it whenever we want, still, right there, right? And you can retrieve it because it's on the table. So you can go here, tap, come back, and retrieve the coin, right? So I like stuff like that, where you can ditch in a way that it's still accessible to you, because showing two open hands is something that I think all magicians strive for, and there's a lot of fun ways to do it. The leg one that I showed you guys before this, and this is another way of just like this kind of arming technique, where it's like tabled arming, right? I don't remember. I feel like I showed this before the lecture, maybe, where you do like classic palm. This hand comes to rest on the leg, so you can lean in, vanish, right? Or lean back, have your arm cover it this way, and then when you're ready, you bring your arm back, and you could classic palm it off of your leg, right? Because your leg's round, it's pretty easy to classic palm a coin off of your leg. Well, kind of, relatively, if you can do classic palm. But you don't even need to. You can always do this and move it to finger palm, right? So anyways, using the surfaces in a fun way, right? It's fun ways to use surfaces. Well, you guys got any questions for me? Things you want to see? What do you want to see? Why are you still here? Ask yourself, what are you waiting for? What are you hoping I show? And then put it in the comment section there.
What about your misers? At least what you think makes a good miser string?
Oh man, I don't know. Misers is fun. It's a neat effect. Let's see. Do I have? I don't have anything to do with it. I guess I have this. There's still tea in here. Do this, and I think I hung one of these earlier. This is a coin. You might not be able to see it, but in a moment. We just might need to stretch it out a little bit and reproduce it, and it'll become visible. See, I take these coins, I crush them down and make them really small, and I hang them back where I left them, right? And there's a bunch of them around here that you can take and hang. You crush them down till they're really tiny, and whenever you want, you just stretch them back out. And you get a silver dollar, right? But I tend to place them in twos. So I place the first one there. That's the second one. I think I have a two right here. Let's see if we can take these two, stretch those out. So there we go. Two of those. I think I have another two right there. I think this one. Sorry, that one's a little. Those ones are a little stretched thin. These might have been stretched a few too many times, but let's see if we can. There we go. Two more. Maybe one last one there. Some schmutz on it, but should be able to stretch that one. So, there you go. This is like a little mini miser that I do. It's ridiculous. Now my coins are covered in tea. I think I have a towel over here. So this is a little mini miser that I love. It's used normal coins. There's no there's no plumbing coins here or anything like that. And it's only 4 coins actually. But you get a lot of production. It's off 4 coins. But I don't know if I'm ready to tip that one yet. But it's fun. That's my misers. I'll just leave it as a performance video. Coins through table. I don't tend to do much of a coins through table. I never found a way to do it that, like, first of all, this is not like a situation. I like the hard, when you have the hard surface and you do the tap thing underneath, right? The thing is you push it through. That stuff's fun. I have a coin through table sequence that I do. You can even do that thing I was showing you earlier where you do this and you drop a coin in a classic palm. That works great on a table. So you go here, you do a classic palm transfer, right? And this hand comes to rest as you lean in. And right as you go to place it on the table, you also drop this coin right there, right? Now, soft surface, I'm not getting the effect I want, but you go clack, so they hear it there. And now you can say, watch, there's soft spots in the table, right? You lean this back. There, you do this kind of subtlety we talked about. Now, as this hand comes back, you scoop this coin into your lap, but this hand's coming back too, which covers the sound, because this would make sound. So you go like this, and then you could come under, grab that coin out of your lap, and make the pop through sound. And I had a routine that I did with a few phases, but I'm not a huge fan of super repetitive routines. Like even my coins across, I try to add multiple phases to it. Like it's got the visual kind of sudden thing. It's got a few moments of sound manipulation, and then it's got this appearing in the spectator's hand. It changes a bit. One of the what was it? Was it Gallo? I think Mike Gallo maybe did one that I really loved, where it's 3 coins. He gets to this last phase where he gets to the last coin and he goes, watch, we're going to push it through to join the others. Oh, shit. Sorry, this coin's difficult, but we will get it. Give me a moment. Okay, hold on. It's going to join the others. Wait. Oh. Sorry, just not how you expected. And then they're all back on top. And I just loved that because it was a fun kicker ending to a table. He had this neat thing. I think this was Gallo. Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. How do I make the pop sound with your mouth? Curl your lips in, blow air, and then release your lips. I first Sonny, I started doing that when I was hanging out with Mario Lopez and he pulled his nipple off, and that was the sound he made. He went, and it made the effect of him pulling his nipple off made such an impression on me that I started first I started performing it a lot. This was before he did this on Penn and Teller Fool Us. He showed this to me at a convention, and I went around and I performed it for a bit. And then when he did it on Fool Us, I got like a bunch of phone calls from people going, "Hey, I just saw a dude pull off his nipple the way you do." And I was like, "Yeah, it's because that's not my effect." But he taught it to me, and I used to go around and do it all the time. So I got in this habit of doing that sound, and now I just do it for everything. And I should probably stop because it's overkill. Anyways, back to this. Gallo had a fun thing. You get here, and for the last coin, as his hand comes back, this hand pushes these coins up into classic palm as you're here, and then you come forward again, and you get this surprise kicker ending of boom, they all come back to the top. And I love that. That was a fun, really fun take on it. But I don't really have much of a coins across. If I do a penetration effect, I do like a coin through hand, coin through glass, coin through table. And then I'll try to do something with the spectator's hand. I'll move into that to make it relational to them in some way. And I always try to do that in most routines. Demonstrate something, but then put it in their hands as much as I possibly can. And make it a part of their experience. Well, what else you guys got? What you got for me?
Danny, I would love to see that international 3-fly you do with the silver coin, the Chinese coin,
Yeah.
the tiger hand coin.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the simplified version that I came up with because that one's fucking the one that I taught in Voyage is just overly complicated. It's a fun routine, but it is hard for no reason at all. Where is the Chinese coin? I'm always losing my coins. What are those? That's not it. That's not it.
I mean, you are a magician. You made him disappear.
I do that a lot, yes. I'm my best spectator, for sure. I bet it's right in front of me somewhere. And I'm just, like, being dumb. It does not appear to be the case. That seems to really be gone. Oh, found it. Okay. I like these coins. They contrast each other very well. Tiger tan, Chinese, and silver coin. The best contrast of any three coins. I just really like them. So a fun simplified version of this effect. We're gonna get a coin travel from this hand, from that hand, across just like that. That's the first one. This is the next one though. Will travel from there to here. Okay, watch closely. Just like that. That is the second one. The silver coin. The copper one will actually appear in between the Chinese and silver, just like that. There you go. This is a simplified version of the effect from Voyage. I'll show you the advanced version, even though I think it's just total overkill. But we'll do like so. So coins into the hand. Watch closely. You can hear them. Yeah. That's the first silver dollar. Okay. Listen close. You hear the second one as it travels from there to here, just below, just like so. Ooh, a little sloppy. Sorry. And then the last one goes like this. Yeah, I got stuck there. But anyways, that's three. That's the original version as taught in Voyage, but that's a tough one. Yeah, but that's my favorite 3-fly, actually. I think it's more mysterious. It's like, you know, when you open your hand for the spectators at the end of that, it destroys people. Everyone just assumes you have extra coins because it's just the sound manipulation stuff is so fun. I love sound manipulation. If you haven't figured that out yet, big fan. Tips on keeping hands relaxed and natural. Just practice. Oh, and practice. No, you just gotta relax your hands. Play around with tensing your hands and then relax your hands. and get a sense for the feeling of relaxation. Relaxation can be a bit of a paradox. If you tell someone to relax, then they think of it as an action, but relaxation is not an action, it's the release of an action. So you first have to be aware of what actions are taking place subconsciously. So if you apply mindfulness practices to your hands and feeling the tension in your hands and releasing it, and you get the feeling of the sensation of releasing tension, then you start noticing, oh, where am I still holding tension? Feeling the tension in your hand and releasing that, you'll get a better sense of relaxation. But you have to start thinking of relaxation as the release of an action. So you have to look at what's the action that's taking place, and how do I release it? Does that make sense? And the paradox of relax. Yeah. It's my favorite paradox, the relaxation paradox. All right. Where did I get my coins from? My grandpa was a coin collector. He gave me a lot of my coins when I was young, and then some of them I've gotten on eBay over the years. So I've had coins that I've just had since I was a kid, and then I've had coins that I bought on eBay, because it's a great place to get coins, actually, because you can look up coal coins, CULL, Morgan dollar coal coins. These are the ones that they're already soft and worn down. You're going to pay for the price of silver rather than a collector's item, which is good. That's what you want. You want the price of silver.
Yes,
And you want coins.
I remember taking advantage of the price filters when shopping for my barber half dollars on eBay, looking at price and shipping lowest first. And even some of the sellers actually were accepting offers, so I saved a few more dollars because they accepted.
Nice.
So if the listing offers that, take advantage of it. Maybe the seller will be nice to you and give you a few dollars off.
Yeah. If you're in the States, just go to a coin shop. Just go to a coin shop, go up to the front desk and say, hey, can I see your coal coins? And they'll look at you funny. And then they'll pull out like an old beaten down cardboard box with some super worn down, filthy looking Morgan dollars. And they'll sell them to you for cheap.
Yes, and two other keywords are junk silver or constitutional silver.
Junk silver is a big one for sure, yeah. Yeah, especially if you go to a coin shop, I have to see their junk silver. That's it. Yeah, I wish my coins had better milling, honestly. My coins have the worst milling. I mean, really, the worst milling. They're smooth. They're smooth. But if you're using silver, silver is grippy. It grips your skin really well, just naturally. It really does. And it's mostly due to the fact that it's the most conductive metal. So
that is correct.
Yeah, once it warms up, it sticks to your skin. When it's cold, not so much. But warm, really, really makes a huge difference in being sticky. So you hold the coin a bit, get it warmed up, and then play around with palms and stuff. Get a good classic palm. I can't recommend that enough. Like, get a good classic palm with flat hands. It's a nice thing to be able to do. This flat hand classic palm. Classic palm is an underrated palm. It's good.
But yeah, but like you mentioned, Danny, due to the natural molecular structure of silver, there's really no need to go through the expense of getting them remilled or anything, getting your Morgans remilled.
Right, they have a shape.
You know, like you just said, it will just want to stick to your hand when you handle them to the point where they're warm.
Right. Yeah, it's fun stuff. Cool. Well, I'll give this 5 more minutes, 10 minutes. If somebody has some interesting requests, what are you yearning for? What do you want to see? Or hear? We could talk theory too. I like theory, as you might have noticed. Oh, it's too. I updated that recently. I updated that recently with a really weird idea, so I'll show it. It's fun. There's a I gotta find the coin. There's a coin around here somewhere. There it is. I don't know if you hear that, but there it is. Blow, and we get a coin. There's another one though, if we can find it. It's just we found it right there. So we have 2 coins, 2 silver dollars, and I think there was a third one actually. Yeah, right there. So 2 there. That's 3 there. That leaves 3 silver dollars. But we'll try this one at a time. We'll get these coins to hang into the air, just like so. Which leaves 2 silver dollars. And shit, I can't remember how this went. Yeah, 2 silver dollars. Sorry, 3 silver dollars. There's a third one right there. Forgot about the third one. Right there. But we'll get these coins to travel. Or hang. I mean, Jesus Christ, tripped over my words. Could try to remember this routine at the same time. But we'll hang that one there. Which leaves the... yeah, right there. Sorry, poorly done. Hang the last one right there. Good. They all hang into place, and we can get them back at any point. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. So this is some fun stuff here. So I came up with this weird idea to put a $50 behind a dollar and do this to make sound. It's like you make the hinge thing that we talked about earlier. But, right? But then I thought, oh, could you do a routine where you use that $50 and it can actually be valuable? And so I took this routine that was from the guild. There was this little mini routine of a routine with 2 silver dollars. You go through and you pick 3. You get 3 silver dollars, and then you hang them one at a time. But you never actually have 3 silver dollars. You have 2 coins as 1. You do some fun shuttle pass stuff, and then hang this one in the air as well. And then you can take them back at any point. That's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Right? And this is available on the guild in the foundational techniques section, which shit, you can get that for $1 and so much more. You want a whole bunch of content for $1? Go check out the guild. It's on my site right now. The $1 trial is ending in like 4 days, 5 days, very soon. So you don't want to miss that. Definitely check that out. But I'll go into it in brief detail here. The routine was coin each finger palm, produce shuttle pass, produce click pass, produce tap tap. It's the bluff thing, right? You're just leaving this coin behind, which is great because you just produce 2. You do a click pass, so they think you have 2 there, and you have the third, and that's a third. Then you can, right? And then you're vanishing, right? You get your 2 again, or what I did with this is actually grab the top one goes into finger palm, and I pick up the other one. So I go like this as both hands come away, and I hang that one, right? That's there. Drop, shuttle pass, JW. Produce, produce, click pass, produce. Right? Now with the $50, I was like, oh, you could do some fun stuff with this, but it gets really knacky. So finger palm here, clip here, produce, grab the first coin, blow, it becomes visible. That's the first. But wait, there's another one around here. I just have to find it. There it is. There's a coin right there. Now you can see it. Sometimes they're hard to see. There's actually another one. So up here, down there. Oh, I found it. That's the next one. And all I'm doing here is I'm dropping this $1 and $50 into finger palm. it's like a Benzeus friction palm / click pass. And dropping that, the dollar sticks, the $half goes. So you see one coin here, and you see a coin fall and clink the other. And now you have sound here, right? Which is great because just a moment ago you clearly showed this. Now they hear sound and you produce. Now you're just going to flip over this whole thing so that the $half is underneath. So you still do the bluff thing just as before and vanish. The next stage is just as before. Still the same thing. You do this, fake take, vanish. I think what I'd originally done was something like, oh, how did I do this? I think that had to go into finger palm this way. You would take this would go into like a nowhere palm. You would grab this in nowhere palm so that you have like the $half sandwiched between them. You could vanish and spider grip, and then you're good. Reach out, reproduce, push off the silver dollar, produce the second silver dollar, do a Bobo switch, produce the third silver dollar. Right? And this was, I thought, was a really fun thing of like doing a routine with 3 silver dollars, but one of them's actually a $half. I just came up with this routine like last week, so it's rough still, but that's the idea. It's not, and I'm actually quite proud of. I'm having a lot of fun with this weird using a $half as a gimmick idea. So there you go.
Very novel idea, Danny.
Thanks.
And I guess I would like to close us off because you said you would give this another 10 minutes, and it's
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hope I'm not going to make you manifest too long of an answer to go past that limit, but because this is kind of a deep question. But
That's okay.
question, what would be your best advice for one to transition from a craftsman to an artist?
Yeah.
How to treat magic more of an art rather than a craft?
Assuming you want to.
Yes,
Because you don't have to. I think there is magic strong is like just like a craft. Something you go out, you do sleights, and it's still fun. It's still entertaining. People enjoy it. But you got to be real with yourself. As a magician, you're not often just trying to entertain people. A lot of people want to really invoke that powerful sense of like, wow, that was mind blowing. That like I felt so good after seeing that performance. My day felt brighter kind of reaction. And if that's the case, I promise you there are spectators who will feel that way no matter what type of magic you show them because they're not the puzzling type. But that's more because they're really good at relaxing into the state of wonder. And then there are spectators who really need a good presentation to relax into the state of wonder. So we'll get those reactions all the time from these kind of easy spectators, the people who know how to relax into the state of wonder and love magic, and they can just let themselves not know and appreciate the beauty and mystery of it. And that's often the reaction a lot of magicians want to get. And if that's true, you got to be honest with yourself. And then you have to look at your magic and go, does my magic really offer that? But to do this, you really got to get into the psychology of it. You got to understand the psychology of it. It makes a huge difference. And it's such holy shit, we can talk for hours on the psychology of magic. And the psychology of wonder, and the psychology of the human mind, and what is the state of wonder. Just shamelessly pitching another product. Mythos is my magnum opus. It is something that I put so many years into crafting to really express all of this. What is the state of wonder? What is the psychological relationship between the spectator and magic? And how do you build presentations that truly invoke wonder? And so Mythos is that project. If you're interested, check that out. But this is also the type of thing that can just take time, trial and error, and practicing and learning and working with somebody who understands these things. Surround yourself with magicians who do that kind of work and learn from them. Get their feedback on things. That's one of the most helpful things. And that helped me a lot, was just getting good criticism from good magicians. Eric Mead helped me a lot. He gave me some really good feedback, and that really helped me. Garrett Thomas is somebody who's got a great mindset on this. Really understands the difference between magic as a trick versus magic as an art, something that really invokes wonder. So there are magicians who do this kind of stuff. Start steering away from the method so much and start understanding the theory so that you can understand the psychology behind it. And then you got to figure out who you are and what you love and what it is you're actually trying to express. What does it mean for you to be fearlessly you and bring that through your art form? Your experiences as a human being and your loves and your passion is the paint. This is just the brush. So that's my best advice.
Thank you. That was very succinct.
Jay Solomon. I know a Jay Solomon, but you can't be that Jay Solomon. He's not a magician. His dad's a magician, oddly enough. Anyways.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Must be someone else.
Yeah, I know. I assume so. I just thought it was funny. Let's see. Yeah. Is your name Jacob by chance?
No, I'm Joshua.
Yeah, that would have been my second guess. No, I'm joking. Anyways. Cool.
This has been great, Danny. I, again, really appreciate you doing this for me. Sure, there's been plenty of great knowledge. And probably nearing the end. So, if I could make one more request, just to make this a little bit different than other people are used to seeing, why don't you show us a card trick?
A card trick? Yeah. Let me get this coin is in the way. Okay. Card trick. Oh man, I wasn't ready for this. Okay, let's see. I'm going to show you. This is like a juggling trick. It's not. I think it's funny to do juggling style stuff with cards. Very presentational focused stuff with coins. Let's see if I can even do it. This might be a complete fluke, but we'll try it. So I need some cards selected. And I want them to feel like a free choice. So let's do this. Ezra, you can help me. I'm going to just go through like this, and whenever you want, you say stop. Here. Okay, we'll use that one, and we'll go again. And we could go back or forwards, your choice. Okay, and you say stop. It's 2, and then forward or back again? Forward. You say here. Okay, so 3 freely selected cards. It's a long, drawn process to get 3 cards, but it's what works best for these kinds of effects. So I have to remember these though: Queen of Diamonds, Ace of Hearts, 10 of Clubs. Okay. Now, these cards are going to go into the middle of the pack here. Fairly. I don't have any breaks. I am genuinely losing these cards. Okay? This is important. Okay? Now, I told you this is going to be a juggling type trick, and it genuinely is. So, sorry, Ace of Hearts. Don't forget the cards. Ace of Hearts. What was the Queen? Diamonds and 10 of Clubs. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. And give it a side cut. Okay. It's a juggling type trick, but just like that, one card shoots out of the deck and is caught in the deck. Now I want this to be as fair as possible, so I'm going to spread these out. So you can see this is the top card. That's the card next to it. Yes, that's it sandwiched. right? We've got the Ace of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, and the 10 of Clubs.
Very nice.
This is fun. You guys want to learn it? I'll teach you this one last thing because it's really quick. This is a breather card, and the rest don't matter. You just got forced the breather card. I use a timing force. I like timing forces. I'm particularly good at them. That can be a whole talk on the psychology of timing forces and how to make those work for you, but we won't go down that road. But you force a breather card, and then what any other 2 cards, it doesn't matter, we'll use these 2 5s. And you're going to put them back. So the first 10 you just put in the middle. It's a breather card. I put it somewhat slightly more towards the top than towards the bottom. That's important. But you can show this super cleanly going in, which is fun. Because it's a breather, it doesn't matter. You're going to pick up Charlet cut style, which will naturally cut you at the breather, so you get to put the second card in just as cleanly. Right? For the last one, I actually got stuck doing this, unfortunately, but I do I tend to do this Daniel Garcia move. I have my own variation on it, but I do it like this, where I come here and I kick this out with my thumb as this one goes on top, right? And it works better with a newer deck because the cards are slick, but when you do it right, it looks like that. It looks quite convincing, but basically what it does is it puts that card on top, right? So now I have this card on top, and if I were to swing cut, I want to be able to swing cut. Oh, not there. I want to be able to swing cut to the 10 of clubs, okay? Now, this is why I'm somewhat more towards the top, so I can easily swing cut there. Because I'm going to shoot this top card like that. And I'm going to catch it between the 10 of clubs and the 5. That's it. I mean, there's no magic to that. It's you do it. You actually just do it. Oh, I fell out. So you shoot, and then you open. Oh, I think I actually... Oh, no, I hit it. I hit it? Yeah, I hit it. And then you open, and you get it right there between the 5 and the 10. Right? So that's it. I mean, you literally just shoot a card, and you catch it. Face cutting or back cutting. I never know the difference. It's when I make the breather with the back up. So this way. What's that? Is that face cutting or back cutting? Oh, face cutting. I get it. Oh, that makes sense. Face cutting. Oh, no, I still don't get it. Are you cutting to the face of the breather? You're cutting to the face of the breather. So is that what be face cutting?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there you go. That's a really weird thing that I created a long time ago with the shooting card and breather card that I thought was fun. So, but I normally do a bunch of mentalism with cards, but I thought I'd do it. It's kind of funny to do a juggling thing with cards. So there you are. Thank you all. It was really fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for putting up with my very punchy attitude today towards the majority of coin magic. Yeah, I had fun. And one last shameless plug. Go to DannyGoldsmithMagic.com. There's actually a bunch of free content there. So go to the free tutorials page, and you'll get some free stuff. Some good free stuff. Okay? So if you like this, you want a free lecture, plus actually pretty much 2 free lectures and some free sites, go to DannyGoldsmithMagic.com, go to the free tutorial section, and you'll find that there. If you want to join the guild for $1 and come hang out with me in my membership, it'd be great to have you. So thank you all again. It was fun. Till next time. Yeah, thank you guys. Straight in the comments. Good night. Cool.